Working with Dan supplemented what our son's high school counselor was able to offer them through their high school. She did a wonderful job, but she was working with a large amount of students at both the junior and the senior level. She gave them lots of information about testing, about scholarships, about colleges, and she was available during school time whenever they could make time to see her in their schedules. The nice thing about working with Dan, in addition to working with the school counselor, is all of the extras that he brought. He knew the same process that the school counselors had, but he also knew more. So he had been in touch with colleges directly in many cases. He'd been at conferences with other college counselors, and so had just the same information that she did. But I think that the personal interaction that we had with Dan and the amount of time, again, that we were able to spend with Dan, both our sons and ourselves, when we needed to, so they could schedule meetings, if available, one day in advance, the same day, the next week. So just depending upon Dan's schedule, we were able to schedule whenever we needed to talk with him about anything that they needed.
Yeah, I think the only thing I just thought of in relation to what Dan offered that potentially a school counselor didn't was an interpreter. I don't know if your kids are like at least one of our children, where we ask them, well, what did you talk about with Dan? And you might get, oh, stuff. And so we were able to call Dan, when the school counselor maybe wouldn't have been available, or on the weekends, or have a Zoom call. And then Dan would fill us in on everything that was discussed, which was very helpful, at least for me, to know where are we at in the process, how are the boys doing, what do they need from us, if anything. And Dan, I thought, had a really good gauge and pulse in that process, and could guide us if needed, and or readjust in any way that we needed along the way. But that was not very often, because again, Dan led that process very effectively, as did the school counselor, just in different ways.